Krishna friends, I am your host and host astrologer Acharya Pooja and welcome to my new YouTube channel Decode Astrology. Here you will learn and experience the esoteric knowledge of astrology where we will dive deep into the astro world and try to find out some real and logical reason behind particular movements or happenings in life. So let's start today's topic. Friends, today's many of young girls and boys are literally worrying about their future life, especially related to their marriage. In searching a good option, the time is slipping out of their grip and also age is increasing. Many goes to the astrologer and do many remedies but of no use. And this further leads to the dissatisfaction and anxiety in their life. Here, I will explain how you can check your own horoscope to analyze the fact about your marriage. And also you can check unmarried yoga or a celibacy yoga in your horoscope. Now these two yogas are completely different to each other because you can say that unmarried yoga does or does not include the personal choice, while the celibacy yoga confirms the willpower of being celibate. Let's start our analyze about the unmarried yoga in the Kundli. In Vedic astrology, an unmarried yoga refers to the specific planetary combination, yogas or doshas in a birth chart that delays, obstruct or even deny the marriage altogether. These yogas are derived from the classical text and thousands of years of observation. They don't guarantee a person will remain unmarried throughout the life, but indicate a strong tendency that may need a remedies or conscious effort to overcome. Major unmarried yogas in Vedic astrology, how you can check, where 7th house and 7th lord plays a vital role, because 7th house that governs your marriage and partnership. If malefic planets like Saturn, Mars, Rahu or Ketu in the 7th house can delay or disturb the marriage. If the 7th lord is weak due to the combustion, retrogression or afflicted by the malefic planet, it may obstruct the marriage. Rahu-Ketu also plays a vital role in this situation. And also if Rahu-Ketu access in Kendra or 1/7th house, then it can create a confusion or unusual relationship. Kunja dosha or Mangal dosha should be considered here. Mars in a 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th, 8th or 12th house from the ascendant or moon can create delay or disharmony in marriage. If strongly placed, it can even result in a marital denial, especially when Mars is afflicted. Saturn's influence in the 7th house. How the Saturn gives result if it is placed in the 7th house or aspecting the 7th lord or 7th house, that it can cause delay marriage until 30 or later. The Vedic astrology believed to indicate difficulties in marriages or remain unmarried. Let me first list few of them briefly, then explain the 7th house or lord in detail. Common unmarried yogas in Vedic astrology. Afflicted 7th house. If the 7th house or house of the marriage has a malefic effect from these planets like Saturn, Mars, Rahu or Ketu without any benefic aspect, it can cause a delays or denial of the marriage. Afflicted 7th lord. If the 7th lord is placed in a Dushtana house like 6th, 8th or 12th, or 7th house is completely empty or hemmed by the malefic planet, it may impact marriage prospects. Venus affliction for male chart and Jupiter affliction for female chart should be considered. These planets signify the spouse and their weakness or affliction may delay or deny the marriage. Strong ascetic yoga, yogas like Brahmachari yoga, Vairagya yoga or Sannyasi yoga may indicate disinterest in the marriage. Moon and Saturn also plays a very important role in this situation. Moon and Saturn especially connected to Rahu, this can cause an emotional withdrawal or depression or fear related to commitment. Now let's see Saturn's role in 7th house, what it means. 7th house in our birth chart represents marriage, partnership, relationship and sexual union. When Saturn or Shani is placed in the 7th house, it brings the seriousness, discipline and cautious approach to the relationship. And also if you see the effects, it also causes the delay in marriage. Saturn matures very late in the life, like 36 years or later on. So individual with the Saturn in the 7th house may marry later in the life, and also they may reject early suitors or not find the right match until much later. Fear or hesitation in relationship. Person may be fearful of emotional vulnerability, may have a pessimistic view of a marriage or lack of trust in the partnership. Possibility of remaining unmarried. because of the Saturn is quite strong. Like if the Saturn is strongly afflicted or retrograded or under the malefic aspects due to a Rahu or Ketu or Mars, these are without any benefic aspects or influence, may cause a delay in marriage or totally denied altogether. Especially true, it is true if it is supported by other unmarried yogas in the chart. Married life challenges due to the Saturn in the 7th house. If the person marries early, despite of Saturn's influence, it could break emotional distance, coldness, or heavy responsibilities in marriage. Spouse may be older or mature. Often such native may marry someone older or more mature or with a serious disposition modifiers. If Venus or Jupiter aspects the 7th house or Saturn, or it may reduce the negative effect. If the Saturn is exalted in 7th house in Libra or placed in own sign like a Capricorn or Aquarius, then this can cause a loyalty, though marriage may still be delayed, should not be ignored. In a Vedic astrology, a celibacy yoga, also known as a brahmacharya yoga or nashtikya yoga or a brahmacharya yoga, you can check in the horoscope with the reference to the planetary combination that indicates a person may either choose not to marry or live a celibate life voluntarily or involuntarily. This can be due to spiritual tendencies, lack of interest in the physical relationship, or unfavorable conditions for marriage in the chart. Key celibacy yoga in Kundli. You should also check these points in your horoscope. Here are some major planetary combination or yogas that may create a celibacy inclination or unmarried life. Afflicted or weak 7th house is very well known, and the 7th house that rules the marriage or physical relation, it should not be afflicted. If it is heavily afflicted by Saturn, Ketu, Rahu or Mars, or if it is empty, not aspected by any benefic planet, it may deny marriage or reduce the desire. So you can also judge through this way. Afflicted 7th lord, if the lord of the 7th house is afflicted because of combustion, retrogradations, or placed in the 6th, 8th or 12th house, or conjunct with a malefic or debilitated planet, this can show unwillingness or a failure in relationship. Ketu in the 7th house plays a vital role in creating such kind of yoga like celibacy yoga. Ketu represents detachment and spirituality. In the 7th house, it can indicate disinterest in physical union, relationship or worldly desires. Such people may be drawn to the spiritual path, monkhood or isolation. Strong Jupiter and Saturn combination should check in a horoscope. If they're related to the 7th house or the 7th lord, bring a spiritual and disciplined approach. If the moon is also influenced, the person may renounce the worldly pleasure. And also moon with the Saturn or Rahu or Ketu, you can check in your horoscope what kind of result they can give. Moon represents your emotion and desire. If it is conjunct with the Saturn, it gives the emotional coldness. If it is conjunct with the Ketu, the spiritual detachment you can see in the chart. If a moon is placed in a Dushtana house like 6th, 8th or 12th house, it can create a mental disinterest in romantic or sexual connection. Ascetic yogas like a sannyas yogas, if the 4 or more planets are placed in the single house or a sign, especially in the Kendra or Trikona, and that's also include the Saturn, Ketu and Jupiter, it can form a sannyas yoga. The native may renounce the marriage and choose a celibate or monk-like life. 12th house should be focused here. The 12th house rules the bed pleasure and moksha. Now these two terms are completely different to each other. The 12th house, if it is afflicted, Venus is weak or placed in the 12th house with the Ketu, the native may be uninterested in sexual relationship or inclined towards the spiritual liberation. Venus debilitated or afflicted, especially in the male chart, as you can see, the Venus governs the love, sex and relationship. A weak or afflicted Venus can indicate a lack of romantic desire or sexual dysfunction, supporting celibacy. For example, we can see some combination in a chart. You can also check like a 7th lord, if it is placed in the 12th house with the Ketu, or moon or Saturn conjunct in the 8th house, Ketu in the 7th house, Venus is debilitated in the Virgo and aspected by the Saturn. Such a chart could indicate a voluntarily or circumstantially celibacy yoga. Now here an important point to be noted. Celibacy yoga should not be judged from a single combination. There should be multiple supporting factors are necessary to be considered here. And dasha, like a planetary period and transit, also influence the timing and desire. Now about the remedies. I would like to make it very clear here that these remedies are only supporting factors, not a miraculous escape from the effect of the planets. Now one more thing you should also note, that if the afflicted planets are placed in the fixed sign, then these remedies would not be effectful, and if it is placed in the flexible sign, the chances are little bright. You may or may not get the result. Above all, you should try to please Shiva Shakti. You should perform yagya or chant a bija mantra of them, and also you can keep vrat or fast for them. Moreover, this is very important if you want to change your life forever or want to change your perspective towards particular things, situation or person, then you should start doing meditation before sleep every night. Also with some yogic breath technique, and concentrate on your third eye. You will see a changes or can say miraculous changes in your life, 100% sure. Hope this video add light to your knowledge. If that's so, please like and subscribe my channel so that in the future you would come to know more esoteric astrological ideas that may inspire and enlighten your knowledge and interest in Vedic astrology. Further, if you want to analyze your chart from me, then you can contact me in a contact detail which is mentioned in a description box. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.